Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are gonna set ourselves up a company. We want to set up our silk company. We do have a silk company. It's Montero Seta. In order to acquire that, we're gonna start producing Como silk, and in order to get that, we need to have level 5 silk plantations or textile mills in Lombardy. So, Lombardy is... I thought it was Campania. Where's Lombardy? Okay, hold on. Let's do this first. Meritocracy. A new guard of intelligentsia bureaucrats are outshining the landowners in every aspect of their work. This is a very encouraging omen for the efficacy of appointed bureaucrats. They think that just because they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth that they deserve the most important positions. But their privilege and entitlement make them lazy, nepotistic, and arrogant. We, by contrast, have had to work for all we have, and there are real consequences for failure. Advancement should be based on merit, not on birth. Clearly, appointed bureaucrats is the correct policy. Extra enactment chance. The landowners have done a shoddy job. Extra enactment chance, weaker landowners. Or encourage the intelligentsia to join the civil service. Extra enactment chance, stronger intelligentsia. We'll do the third one. I'm very confident with being above 55. Here. Okay, so Lombardy is... Oh my gosh, please don't tell me Lombardy's in Austria. Oh my goodness. What a pain. I wonder if they would accept a trade for it. Okay. Outlook is not encouraging. What's the minimum amount of... What's the maximum I can get out of just throwing cash their way? This might be silly. Okay, no, I'm getting there. Alright, anyway, that's fine. So 53, and I need 293 more. No tariffs on some goods, maybe? No tariffs on luxury furniture. No tariffs on furniture. Okay. No subventions on the same two goods. Do they want trade privileges? They don't. Goods transfer? They want our meat. And our groceries. Ooh, our sulfur. Actually, that's a good thing I can provide plenty of. No, that's not useful. Groceries. Oh, this amount of treaty favor is really pathetic. Our grain? No. Okay, alright, so goods transfer is not necessarily useful here. Law commitment. Anything they would like. Doesn't seem like they would. Anything they would like to give me? They would like to give me military assistance. They'd like to give me military access. You know, This sucks. What if it were a longer treaty? No? Okay. It doesn't really affect anything. That's a shame. Obligation? That gets us a little bit of the way there. Yeah, I think this this might not be surmountable. Let's see if there's any more. No, the only goods they care about are furniture and luxury furniture. Cash transfer? Yeah, you can get quite a bit of favor with them with cash transfer. Oh, right. That's already in there. Oh, I'm real smart. I'm real smart now. Yeah, well, I don't think this is going to happen. Maybe it will be more the case later when I've got a larger army. Because I am working on a large military expansion right now. So maybe they'll be more interested in being my friend once I've got a more substantial military. Because right now I still only have 100 battalions. Let me see. I don't have any outstanding shortages in the market at this point, which is pretty good. I'm still getting all my tobacco and dyes from the... Can I produce dyes anywhere? I don't have any plantations right now, obviously. But, resources... Agriculture... No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. Figured I would check. I am privatizing some ports, but not all of them. Let's swap them to being privatized. Or no, we'll leave them be for now. Fishing wharves. Some of them are being privatized. Let's put them all to privatize. Law advancement, we're up to 69%. That should make that very good. Oh, and we have Vatican City. Oh, that's where I got all that extra that's where I got all that extra authority from. It's from having Vatican City. I could form myself a power block. That would be fun. I am a great power. You know, my plan was to form a trade league. Eventually, so maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll go and, maybe I'll go and do it. Let's see. I don't have a lot of other countries I can realistically get, but you know, maybe I could. Oh, the Greeks are in the Metternich system. That's not my favorite. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Maybe I will. But I'll study up on that between episodes. So, cash flow is still a little bit bad. But once again, once we finish with our giant military expansion and our university system expansion, we're building up a few universities. Let's build a few more. Because I want to get us a little bit of extra tech spread. We're not exactly ahead on tech, but we're in an alright place. Tuscany's got a very strong university system. We'll just build a few in each of our states where we do not have one. Just one level apiece. Even Savoy. That's going to take a long time and cost a pretty penny, but it's going to help our tech growth. And there's Appointed Bureaucrats. Beautiful. So that's put us at a slight shortage of bureaucracy. That's put us at a moderate shortage of bureaucracy. Let's build up the government admin system in the capital. We'll throw those to the top of the queue just to get them done. Did we ever make it up to level 3? Home affairs, we did indeed. Ooh, and we can afford a slightly stronger education system once we've got enough bureaucracy for it. I think that's worth it. I think that's quite worth it. So let's take a look into where else we can build up a bit of government admin. Anywhere we're short on government admin, let's ask that first. Piedmont. We're short by 2 levels. So we'll build that as well. Throw those at the top of the queue. That might be enough to get us over the line. But in case it's not, We'll build up a few. Let's build up southern Italy a bit more. Okay, southern Italy is actually built up just fine. Yeah, I guess I did do a very solid government expansion. Do one more level in Emilia, just to make sure that we're super solid where we want to be. And then I'll expand education up to level 3, and that'll be very nice. And I realize I'm increasing the strength of the Catholic Church, but that's not necessarily a problem. I can live with that. They might be willing to give up one of their institutions. And there is modern sewerage. Beautiful. So that's a whole lot of extra infrastructure. That's going to come in really, really handy. What happened with this? I wonder if a bunch of people just got fired out of the bureaucracy buildings, because now we got way more bureaucracy. Or maybe I simply misunderstood how much I was going to have. In any case, that does allow us to get a little bit more institutions. I'll leave it be for now, though. I might downsize the government when the time comes. Did I finish with my my navies already? I did. I'm going to need another admiral in this navy. Let's grab this rural folk guy. He seems fine. And then we'll grab this petite bourgeoisie guy. He seems fine as well. Let's do one more level of frigates, just to get us up to a nice even 30. Throw that in Tuscany. We'll throw that at the beginning of the queue to get it done as fast as possible. That'll be nice. Now, anything else we want to do with our laws? I could do poor laws. I've got the support, but I would like to go directly to wage subsidies eventually. So I'm not necessarily going to do that right away. Can't fix up the rights of women at present. Could go to racial segregation. Rural folk would be happier, but petite bourgeoisie would be unhappy. On the other hand, I could hold out and try to get to cultural exclusion, which I would be happier with. Overall, that would bring in more immigration, and that would generally be good for the country. Have I hit my innovation cap? Not really. Okay, I guess I've only really started building these universities that I queued in all william-nillium a few minutes ago. So, if I'm going to form myself a power block, I'm going to want countries that I can pull into a power block. So let's see. I think I would like to grab Tunis. If I grab Tunis, diplomatic demands are not available. Perhaps I need to target the Ottoman Empire directly. Diplomatic demands are not available. Are we two good friends? No, we're not. Unavailable demands. Transfer subject. They're not a subject. Alright. Tunis, you're a subject to the Ottomans. Transfer subject not available because we are already in a different diplomatic play together. Alright. That's what's going on. Great Britain is going after Mascara. Oh, interesting. Great Britain is trying to muscle in on North Africa, where France is running things. That's curious. Enforce money transfer, okay. Nobody's interested in pulling me into this thing. So maybe I will simply wait until that's done and then reassess my possibility of commitments. Ottoman Empire actually has a weaker army than I have, and I suspect they also have a lower tech army than I have. Yeah, line infantry here. Line infantry here. Lancers. I'm trying to figure out what kind of artillery they've got. They've got mobile artillery. So they've got similar artillery to what I've got. Ottoman Empire is also going to have Serbia, Wallachia, not Moldavia, Tripolitania, and Tunis on their side. So it could be a little difficulty. I've unfortunately built up the... I made a mistake with the artillery. That's alright. I may have made an error with my army composition because I've built up a very large number of, I've built one huge army and one small army, and unfortunately that's left my navy unable to transport them effectively. The Napoli Advocate. An explicitly partisan newspaper founded by members of the labor movement in Napoli has published its first issue. Between advertisements and political cartoons, it hosts ruthless critique of government policy. There was a certain brilliance to it. By printing it on the cheapest paper, by skimping on ink, by flooding it with advertisements and large text, one could produce a profitable paper for only a penny per copy, whilst its competitors sold for 5 to 10 times that amount. By making that paper relentlessly and shamelessly endorse a certain viewpoint, one could have every working person in the city aware of it by evening. If one's competitors refused to stoop that low, they would be responsible for their own suffocation. How long can a partisan paper last? Stronger movement, or is that so denied a printing license? Weaker movement, but more active. I'm going to go with the first one. Strong labor movement's not a problem for me. I think I'm going to increase the size of the fleet. That's what I'm going to do. I'm at 15 and 5. So we'll do 3 here. 4 here and 2 here. And the others will round up with Mana Wars. 3 in the capital. 4 in Apulia. 4 in Sicily. That'll bring us up to 29 and 21, and that's a pretty solid number. Can-do attitude. Soldiers are complaining that they have no way to open their canned food. Sure, the food's a bit better, but what's the point if we can't get at it, eh? Some lads use rocks, others knives. The only reliable thing is how bloody annoying it is to eat. Spend some money to develop a way, cost the government money, or they'll figure it out. Salty armed forces. I'm going to do the second one. Armed forces are not, are pretty thoroughly marginalized at this point. Maybe we'll even do a little bit more in the Navy just to get this. Ooh, triage is unlocked. That's excellent. Just to get things running a little better here. Do 1 more level of frigates and 4 more levels of Mana Wars in the capital to turn us into a 30-25 Navy. A scandal in Lazio. Police have shut down a notorious male brothel. The arrested proprietor has revealed that Oreste Michelini, head of the petite bourgeoisie, is part of his clientele, and this information is leaking to the press. An indescribably loathsome scandal has struck Lazio. The captured boys were made to confess, and the Chronicle reports that another sensation about this affair will soon burst. 22 men implicated, blue bloods and others, have fled from Italy. He must resign immediately. He resigns from political life or try to cover up the story. Ooh, 20 legitimacy. That's a big hit. A heavy hit. I'm going to risk it. Let's see what my legitimacy is. I'm still a righteous government, and that's a lot of loyalists every month. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I didn't even need to worry about it. What a progressive country. Great success. And then maybe we'll throw another 5 units of frigates into Lazio. And we'll put all of these at the top of the construction queue. Perfect. We'll build ourselves a big old navy, and that's going to allow us to do invasions in most countries with our primary fighting force, and that'll be very good. I'm also going to queue in some conscripts in our secondary force. Just 5, 10. Where are our most populous states? Campania is pretty populous. Here we go. I know that's a lot of infantry, but it's worth it. Maybe we'll do a few more units of artillery as well. I guess Sardinia-Piedmont is our most populous area. So that makes sense. I know that conscripts are included in strength calculations made by foreign countries, so I'm hoping that'll also make us a little bit stronger. Because I know that I've had that... I discovered that in my campaign as India, trying to get the British to let me do my own thing. Literacy dropped significantly when we became Italy because our area was a lot better educated than a lot of areas we took over. But hopefully, with our level 3 education, that should be increasing and improving and getting stronger. There we go. Excellent. So I'm going to hope that this line trends upward. Are these lines still fully lateral? Yeah, they are. It's quite curious. I wonder what causes a bug like that. So if I force a transfer subject on the Ottomans, Austria likely to step in. That's so curious. Spain too. I'm not really afraid of Spain. Perhaps I should be. They're pretty close to me in strength. They've still got line infantry in their armies, though, but that's not that much worse than I'm currently at. See, this is why I'm trying to get up to breech-loading artillery. Now, before I get too far, I'm gonna go to mobilization methods because we're gonna do some mobilization methods. I can certainly afford. Wow, rail transport's pretty expensive. Now, for these other methods, I need to look at what I've got in my customs union. I know I've got sugar available. I know I've got liquor available. I don't think I produce my own opium. And I don't... No, I don't. And I don't think I produce my own tobacco either. No, I do not. But I produce my own liquor, and I produce my own sugar for sure. So that should be just fine. Obviously, these naval bases are going to take a long time, but it's necessary. So this is as strong as I can get my armies for now. Obviously, this makes mobilization costs pretty significant, but you know, I think it's worth it. It's worth it. One groceries input. I am producing groceries, right? Yeah. See, again, I really want Lombardy. So if someone could pick a fight with Austria for me, that would be superior. Perhaps if Prussia or Russia were to pick a fight with Austria, I would be pretty pleased by that. Of course, they're in defensive pacts and whatnot. Those might end. I wonder how much longer. So these are no longer binding, so they could break them. The Treaty of the Holy Alliance, but I don't know if they're going to. And obviously that's the barrier. Hey, finally. The last monarchists. Italy has successfully maintained a republican form of government for many years now. There are few who still remember the old monarchy with any fondness. The days of high-born kings ruling over the meek peasantry atop a gilded throne are over. Let them pass into the realm of storybooks and fairy tales where they belong, and let the nostalgia for those days become an idle fancy, not the grim face of reaction. We must put the past behind us. Landowners lose the... I think it's paternalistic is what they would have normally had. And they gain elitist instead. And they'll no longer have the royalist ideology, and Giuseppe Albini, who's currently a royalist, will change ideology to moderate. Or there's no harm in a little nostalgia. They get happier and weaker. I'm going to do the first one. I don't want monarchists in my my landowners. Alright. So we're building a very large naval expansion, and it's going at a reasonable speed. Could be going faster, in my humble opinion. Perhaps increasing army wages would be superior. I think maybe yes. No, we'll let it be for now. I'm not in a hurry. Is that moving us up the power scale? Not really. We're ahead of Spain, but United States is ahead of us. And there's only so much I can get from military out of this. After the United States, it's Prussia. And I really need to start expanding my economy after that. But of course, by expanding my economy, what I really mean is I need to wait because I'm really short on cash. Fractional distillation. Would that make... So this allows me to produce more liquor. Let's go to the screw frigate. Ah, perfect. Inefficient. Wonderful. Exactly what I wanted. We'll go back. I feel like that production method is never useful. Patent stills would be slightly more productive. Nope. They lied. They lied. They told me they'd be more productive, and they were not. Furniture manufacturers, let's be full privatizing. We definitely want privatization on these things. Motor industries, let's privatize them. Still want the arms industry kind of in the hands of the government. I don't know if that's silly, but I think it just makes intuitive sense to me, at least. Railways, I want in the hands of the government. I'm going to halt privatization of trade centers. I don't know that privatizing trade centers is really the right call. Alright. We finished with our naval expansion, and we're now working on all these universities. I'm going to throw the ones in Savoy ahead of the queue so that they can get done, and we won't have a long tail there. Students rally to the labor movement. A group of students attending the university in Savoy have arranged a demonstration in favor of the labor movement. The display has inspired other students to join the cause. The lecture hall was barren. There were always one or two students missing for illnesses, travel, or family occasions, but nothing on this scale. There were 3 or 4 students per row, each thrown into sharp contrast by the empty seats to their sides. It was material for a lecture of its own, he thought. Like a heap of sand whose grains had blown away one after another until its form suddenly changed, so followed what had once been a class. The youth will lead Italy into the future. Extra pop political strength, extra reduced university throughput. In Savoy, a stronger labor movement. Or, for the second one, 5% of academics pops become more radical. University throughput is not reduced. And half the other modifiers. I'm going to go with the first one. I like having a strong labor movement in the country. Is this going to let me do anything that I want to do? Public health, which is good. Wage subsidies, which is good. Those are the primary ones. Graduated taxation, I'm sure, will be more effective eventually. Proportional, not so much. I like that they rebalanced the taxation to make it more effective. Maybe I should change up trade laws. So mercantilism... Oop, hold on. The brave engineer. A railroad accident in Piedmont only narrowly avoided heavy fatalities due to the quick thinking of the train's engineer, who perished in the crash. Only a few people died, but the wreckage will take some time to clear. Come all you rounders if you want to hear a story all about a brave engineer. Thank goodness for quick-thinking engineers, reduced infrastructure, or railmen should get more than a song for dying on the job. 15% stronger trade unions, in addition to the infrastructure penalty. I'm going to go with the second one. End of spring. The international trend of radical thought and revolutionary sentiments is coming to an end. Perhaps it is too early for us to agree whether our attempts ended in success or failure. I would like to believe that we've set in motion forces which will continue to advance our goals long after the fires of this era have gone out. The world is changing. Springtime of the peoples disappears from all nations. So this happened once before, which is a little curious. We'll see what becomes of that. We're very nearly at the end of our construction queue. And when we hit the end of our construction queue, we need to actually genuinely stop building. The business of legislation. Increased sightings of the Anti-Austrian League members socializing with lawmakers at restaurants and entertainment establishments are raising concerns about lobbyist conduct. A lobbyist hands a drink to a politician and pats him on the back. Liquid amber swirls in their tumblers. Jovially, he tells him, "Excellent. You are among friends here with the Anti-Austrian League. Now that matters about Austria have been discussed, let us set aside this talk of business for the rest of the evening. This indulgent behavior should not be tolerated. Extra legitimacy, weaker Catholic Church. Or these facts do not call for any action to intervene. Happier Anti-Austrian League." I'm going to go with the first one. Weaker Catholic Church is generally good for me. The Catholic Church are holding up this opposition party that I don't necessarily like. So, I was talking about going to protectionism. So mercantilism is extra trade advantage for exports and reduced trade advantage for imports. Protectionism is extra trade advantage, is leverage resistance, no extra trade advantage for exports. It's about even in predicted costs and revenues. I can stick with mercantilism for that. No, because mercantilism is gonna make my mercantilism controls the ownership methods on my trade centers. Okay, I am gonna go to protectionism. Nobody opposes this, at least nobody who matters. So it's gonna be just fine. The industrialists do, but they're fine. They're very pleased right now, so they're not actually gonna stop anything from happening. So we'll kick that off, and that'll be better for us in the long run. It mostly means nobody's gonna demand isolationism. Because I got some interest groups that might like it. That having been said, that is all the time we got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.